that's why maybe some of the young Americans don't own homes. Now, it's interesting to me that, people will point fingers and blame everybody about how come they can't buy a home, when in reality, there are so many options for people out there who really want to own a home. And I hate to say it's not as hard as you think it is, but you really got to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing. And I think it's really important for realtors out there to understand the basic three things that you need to know about your client. And the basic three things I'm going to go through right now on this video. Now, financial literacy starts when you're really, really young. So when I was young, my parents taught me to save, 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 save. And that's what we need to go back to. We need to go back to the basics. If you want to own a home when you grow up, you've got to save your money. Now, back in the day when I got my first job, I remember my very first job was at Orange Mall 6 Theaters. Hi, how you doing? Thank you for joining. If you could thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed, that would be awesome, but I bet you already are. So I'm teaching financial literacy today. And from the very basics, I'm saying that my first job was Orange Mall 6, which was a walk-in theater, but actually it wasn't. My very first job as a young person was a newspaper route. And you know what? Discrimination played a role when I was a little kid. I'm a female. Obviously, I'm a female. And, in those days, it was a paper boy route. It was a paper route, and paper boys delivered the paper, not paper girls. And it wasn't just because I was a woman, but it was also because they felt that it was dangerous for a little girl to go out and deliver newspapers. And then every month, it wasn't automatic. It wasn't online. There was no computers. We had to go and knock on the door and collect the money for our paper route every single month. And that was the part that my brother and I hated immensely. Now, once in a while, some customers would pay way in advance and we'd have to go and knock on their door every month. But we had the biggest apartment complexes, which brings me to one of the test words. Here's a gold nugget. One of the words that's a test word on the California state exam, and that is what is a correct rental ad. So they say that you're looking for discrimination, and it says all of the following are discriminatory rental ads except, and the answer is, believe it or not, no bicycles allowed. Now, that's not even an acceptable rental ad because it's not a rental ad. The no bicycles came about when my brother and I, and probably many other paper boys, had paper routes in apartment complexes where you had a hallway where we would ride our bikes with our big bags full of newspapers right through the middle of the apartment complex. So what they would do is they would say no bicycles allowed. So on the California exam, that's actually an acceptable rental ad. But going back to financial literacy, I don't know what gave me the motivation in the first place. I think it was my mom. And my mom didn't grow up in a wealthy family. And, people point back and forth and say, well, you grew up in a wealthy family, so you're able to buy a home. Well, that's not necessarily true. You have to pull up your big bootstraps and you have to stand up for yourself and you have to do what's right. And you have to learn how to save money on your own. And so when I got money for Christmas, it went in, believe it or not, a CD. And the banks at the time had accounts that you could open for children. And I'm pretty sure they probably have it right now. In fact, I'll double check with my bank and see what they say about children opening a bank account with their parents and making sure that they learn how to save their money. And so I learned at a very young age, when I got my money for my paper route, I put it aside and put it in the bank. And then when I got money for Christmas, and when I got money for my birthday, and every time I got my little hands on money, I didn't spend it right away. And then the other thing was I watched my mom, and my mom was very careful with money. My dad would give her money at the beginning of the month, and she had envelopes. And each envelope said, this is what this money's for. This is for entertainment. This is for clothes. This is for food. And it had it all budgeted out. And that's the point. You have to learn how to budget at a young age. And I'll tell you the difference of people that have been learning to save money versus people who don't teach their children correctly. So I hate to drag my ex-husband into this, but ex-husband, when I married him, he had 2 kids, and their tradition at Christmas time was he would roll up a $100 bill and hide it somewhere. And then he would make which is a cute idea, and he made little tricks on where they go to find the money. So it would take them a good hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning to search for their hints. And each hint led them closer and closer to the money that he hid in the house. Now, before Christmas was even close by, one of his sons said to me, "You know what I'm going to do with that $100 bills that I get this year?" And I said, "What?" I go, "Save it," because I'm trying to teach them how to save money. And he goes, "No, I'm going to get this Xbox thing." And he explained everything. And he said, "But it's a little more money than I think I'm going to get. Maybe I can get my brother to go in on me because he's going to be playing the game too." So basically, they spent their money before they even had it. And the cool part about becoming a realtor, and I don't know, I'm going to research it and find out if other people can take the class, but the California Association of Realtors had a really great president. His name was Kevin Brown. And when Kevin Brown became the National Association of Realtors, he wanted to make sure that he left a legacy. And what he left was a class on financial literacy. And actually, it's called this Center for Realtors Scan, and it says Fine and Well, Financial Wellness Realtor. So if you're a realtor, this is it. I don't know if I can, obviously, I don't think the QR code is going to do you any good if I hold it there. But you could go to nar.com or nar.org and search for wellness if you're a realtor. If you're not a realtor and you know somebody that's a realtor, you know me, I'm here. You can contact us. I'm going to look into his financial literacy class because I want to help more people understand that, in order to grow your wealth, you have to start somewhere. And I will tell you that I met a young lady that said she was saving up for her home. And I said, "Well, how much do you have saved?" And she actually said $70,000. And I said, "Do you know that you could buy a home with no money down?" And that's the other opportunity young people have. In many states, especially in California, there's over 400 down payment assistance program. But I know that FHA is out there for every state. And if you talk to a realtor who is looking to help you buy a home, make sure they send you to somebody who does FHA loans, the Federal Housing Administration. And Federal Housing Administration has had a down payment assistance program for a long, long time. And it does not have a limitation on it to where you can't make a certain amount of money. See, the problem with most down payment assistance program is they cap you at, like, I don't know, a certain amount depending on where you live. So that's why I don't know. It could be depending on where you live, it's the medium income for that area. And let's say the medium income in that area is $40,000. Well, if the housing prices in that area is, let's say, $500,000 at $40,000 a year, you're not going to qualify for the home loan, but you would qualify for the down payment assistance program. So that makes zero sense at all. It's like, who is doing the down payment assistance programs? And, why are they made so that they really don't help you? So FHA's does not have that income limitation. So if you make a lot of money, but you have not bought your first home yet, you can use FHA's down payment assistance program. Now, however, FHA's loans, any kind of FHA loan you get, they do have a loan cap based on the county that you live in. So you have to look at the loan cap and you have to look at the income that you have and see if it qualifies for what you're looking for. Now, there's a lot of things coming down the pipeline because realtors really want to help buyers and sellers. That's why when I hear about people suing realtors and suing their buyer's agent or suing the seller's agent, obviously somebody doesn't know what we do, because we are an advocacy program. We help people buy homes and sell homes, and we work hard to make sure that they get in the right home that's for them and that they don't get themselves in a situation where they can't make their payments. And because of that, realtors are the people you want to talk to. But I was having a good conversation with somebody the other day, and I said, it's interesting that in Texas, realtors are allowed to be a licensed realtor and a counselor or a consultant. And in California, you cannot collect a fee for being a consultant if you're a realtor, which is really interesting because I have had my real estate license since 1986, and I teach people how to do what's called pyramiding. And so the way that I make my money is I take the time to teach you on how to be financial literacy, to how to be able to understand financial literacy, how to save up your money, how to clean your credit, and how to do what you need to do to buy a home. So what we're going to do is I was going to do the whole Texas classes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through helping you buy a home, teaching you about financial literacy, teaching you how to build wealth. And what I will do is I Hopefully, if you're in California, I'm licensed here in California. I have helped buyers buy and sell, sellers sell homes throughout the state of California. As I say, from the mountains to the sea to all of California, I know how I can help you buy real estate. So that's what I'm going to do. And if you reach out to me, I will sit down with you. I will show you what you qualify for, because I think every realtor should know how to do that. And then we'll look for homes for you. Usually I do it via Zoom, and I can usually find a home for you that fits your needs and usually less than 3 times out. Most of the last few people I've helped was on the first or second time out, we were able to find them a perfect home. And so what I was going to tell you about was the 3 things that realtors need to know before they even decide to get you to sign a BRBC, which is your buyer's agreement. And you do have to sign a buyer's agreement before your realtor is allowed to show you homes. Now, that is a new rule. It started in August, but it's not law until January of 2025. So as of January of 2025, if you want to see a home, your realtor needs to sit down with you, explain the agency relationship, and you need to sign a contract that says that you're working with them. Now, don't get all freaked out about the contract, because it's only allowed to be for 3 months. Now, if you like working with your realtor, you can extend it another 3 months. So if you're working with somebody who's not explaining the contracts to you and not explaining what you're signing, then you need to stop working with them. Because the rule from the California Department of Real Estate is you need to explain the forms. That's why we get paid the money we get paid, because we're explaining legal documents to you that we know because we've been trained on them. So if you want to talk to somebody who's been trained on them, Arlene, my business associate, and I have been doing real estate for quite a long time. In fact, I've been licensed since 1986, and I've been a loan officer since 1986, and I started as a processor, and then I moved on to become a broker. So if you need any help with real estate, feel free to reach out to us. And my next video, I'm going to start doing for Texas, because I have some new Texas people that want to learn. If you want the book, this is the people you go to. It's the Real Estate Business School, and I'm going to start working out of this for the people in Texas. So after this video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload another live video, but it's going to be the Texas class. So if you're interested in learning about real estate in Texas, I'm going to be doing that in just a few minutes. So have a great day. This is your 10:30 video of the day, and we're going to try to do it every day except for Saturday and Sunday, and then watch for the bonus videos, because the bonus videos, I was only supposed to do like 12 minutes on the bonus videos, but the first one's 20 minutes, packed with information and golden nuggets for you to learn about real estate. So feel free to reach out to us, put some information in the comments, make sure you subscribe and thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next video tomorrow at 10:30 live.